Wednesday, the 8th of February. I'm Stephen Ridgway. Yesterday, talked about the Go Anywhere MFT zero-day vulnerability, and in the article that I was looking at yesterday, they said no patch had been released. However, it does appear that there has been a patch released. So, if you are using Go Anywhere managed file transfer, you can now update to Go Anywhere MFT 7.1.2, which addresses the issues that we've previously spoken about. So a little bit of good news there. So if you're owners of one of the 1,000 or so internet exposed instances of Go Anywhere, then strongly recommend you apply the patch ASAP. OpenSSL fixes a high severity data stealing bug. Recommendation to patch ASAP. It is one of the most, if not probably the most widely used encryption library in the world. It has, let me just get this right. So there are vulnerabilities in the current versions, and there are patches available to. So if you are on OpenSSL 3.0 series, the new version, or the version you're aiming for, is 3.0.8. If you are on the 1.1.1 series, aim for 1.1.1T. Or if you are on OpenSSL 1.0.2 series, the version you're looking to go to is 1.0.2 ZG. That will address the issues that have currently been found. There are various memory bugs associated with these patches, so it is worth having a look. There is good information in the article from Sophos that I came across this morning. So definitely worth looking to patch OpenSSL, which, yeah, as I say, is used in all sorts of areas where encryption is found. So a little bit of good news from CISA. They have released recovery scripts for the ESXi ARGS ransomware. So victims can now get hold of decryption software or tools from CISA that will help them to automate the recovery of data and systems that may have been attacked. So if you have been unfortunate enough to have been targeted or hit by this particular piece of ransomware, and you haven't already been notified, CISA does have an ESXi ARGS recovery script out on GitHub that will make your recovery processes much simpler. Do bear in mind, though, if your systems have been targeted and have been encrypted, you have to think carefully about how much you trust what the state of the device once it has been recovered. We would strongly recommend rebuilding systems. Recover data if you need to, but rebuild the systems to make sure that they don't have other backdoors hidden in them before they were encrypted, so on and so forth. Also worth making sure that you can verify that any data you recover actually is the data you're expecting, and it hasn't been compromised in some other way. So nasty state of affairs if you get hit by ransomware. Recovery tools are useful, but don't just assume the world is rosy once you've used them. Also, on the subject of ransomware, there is a new Linux variant of the Clop ransomware, been observed in the wild. Another piece of good news: they've messed up their encryption algorithm. The RC4 master key is included in the code, so if you know what you're doing, you can definitely decode this one yourself. Expect that now this has been made public knowledge. The group behind this will rewrite, update, and change it, but the current versions that are aimed at Linux are not a particularly good piece of ransomware, let's be honest. So that, I think, is another little piece of good news. And then finally, from me, I missed something yesterday. It was the 20th anniversary of Safer Internet Day. So happy Safer Internet Day for yesterday. Back in 2004, people were still beginning to get to grips with the whole concept of cybersecurity in some kind of meaningful way. And there were some interesting stats, one of which that popped up, which I do remember from 2004, that if you put an unpatched Windows XP machine onto the internet, it would be compromised within 20 minutes. Okay, that's I don't know, would that still be the case? Probably not. I think it's harder now to compromise standard builds than it was in those days. However, the interesting thing at that point was that a lot of machines, certainly home machines, were attached to the internet by dial-up modems. In those days, and downloading a service pack could be between 70 and over 200 megabytes, which would take longer to download and install than your 20-minute window before your device would have been identified and compromised. I do remember this causing a certain amount of consternation, although I don't ever remember having a machine that got hit in that way. Just a little bit of interesting history. The world has moved on. That's all from me today. Hope you have a good day, and I will speak to you again tomorrow.